Yo, what's going on, people? You're watching the Unity sessions on TLD TV and joined today by my brother Seyi. How are you doing, sir?
How you doing?
You're good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, good. We're good over here on this side. So every time I see you, Seyi, you're talking about mental health. Something to do with mental health. Why is mental health so important to you?
Well, I feel the world is going crazy and it's taking its toll.
I agree.
On our mind. Our mind's really paying a high price for the speed at which the world is going. As you can hear, we hear of suicide everywhere.
Yeah.
We hear of depression, anxiety everywhere, and I feel something's got to be done, even amongst Christian folks, because not much of mental health topic is heard within our circle, especially where I'm coming from. To be honest, that's what actually motivated me to really go into mental health.
Okay.
And see how we could promote mental health awareness amongst Christians, basically, and also Black community, because amongst us we feel this mental health topic is a taboo, and it's really not, because we all have mental health. And we all have responsibility to take care of it.
Can I ask, what's the difference between just being sad and being depressed?
Well, just see, everyone, we have what we call, everybody has a mind. And we all react to situation in certain way or the other, which is natural.
Yeah.
But the moment our reaction is tipped over onto the extreme side, and you can't take control of yourself, and it's beginning to affect your life quality, then it's becoming a problem. It's becoming a mental health issue. You want to go to work, you don't feel like going to work. It's beginning to affect your marriage, affect your relationship. Beginning to affect your finances. Your quality of life is going, down. Right? So then it's an issue. When that issue is stretching past 2 weeks, and it's still the same thing, then such a person needs to go seek for help.
Okay, so you kind of look at the time frame and how much of an impact it's having on your life as a whole. Yeah. Okay, and then if we're thinking about then again the difference between sadness and depression there, in terms of the triggers, do you feel like it has to be something like big that's happened, or is it just like, because I've seen, like, for example, people go through a breakup, right, and whatnot, then they kind of stop eating or whatnot, they don't want to go out anywhere. When they do eat, it might be at odd hours or excessively and things like that. They might tend to drink. Would you call that depression?
Yeah, at a point in time, it might be just a natural reaction to negative situation. It's natural. When a loved one dies, it's natural for you to feel sad. It's very, very natural. Yeah. But the moment is beginning to go beyond a certain boundary, it's lasting 1 week, 2 weeks, you're feeling sad, like I said, affecting your quality of life, then you should begin to think of looking for help.
The reason I smile is because I guess you touched on something where kind of happened.
Remember now, sorry.
No, that's what it's supposed to be, man. But yeah, so like with my parents passing, and part of my thinking was how much of the feeling is normal in the sense of, okay, the feelings are extreme. And if we're being open, it'd be things like feeling like dying yourself or such things. Like, I get it's an extreme feeling. And then I think my wife was kind of like, yeah, you need to go to counselling. And then a lot of people are pulling me aside and like counselling. But then in my mind, I'm like, I guess I still don't know. I guess is it normal or not? Like, can depression ever be normal?
Let's put it like I said. If it's getting way beyond normal, there's nothing wrong in seeking for help. especially your wife knows you better than any other person. When something is happening and it's not usual, your wife can easily pick up that my husband needs help. So if he says you need help, I feel the reason why you don't want to go is still has to do with the that side of mental health that we don't really want to hear. We don't want to be attached with that kind of subject.
The stigma type.
The stigma, that's the word. I think somehow it still has to do with that. There's nothing wrong in seeking for help.
I don't think it's right. I think this is gonna sound bad. Like part of it for me was time. Like so we're talking about things affecting quality of life, etc.
Yeah.
etc. I think the time factor, and I guess there's also a finance factor timed up to it, where again it might be an old school mentality, but it's felt like, do I really want to spend time and money on this? What is the thing that is going to happen? And I don't know, I wouldn't call it hopelessness, but I guess for me it was like, what difference is that going to make? And I just felt like it would complicate things more than simplify things, kind of going to a counsellor and everything else and that kind of thing.
If you need help, you really have to just go for help, if you know what I mean. Basically the yardstick is the quality of life. People around, is it affecting your relationship with your wife, with your children, with your friends, with your own work as well? You don't want to, something that you find passion doing, you lose it, and you find it difficult to get it back, and it's lasting way more than 2 weeks, which is basically the yardstick, more than 2 weeks. Then you need help. It's called early intervention before it goes haywire.
Yeah, I think this is probably like linked to the reason why a lot of men just snap rather than bend, because I think from my perspective, part of it was like, so you've got a wife they need to be looking after. So I'm the guy that's in charge of the finances and lights and keeping that moving.
Yeah.
And then you got like 2 kids and everything else, young age. Like I don't feel like I've got the scope, like it's an option to kind of either stop, pause, or be depressed. It just feels like, I think, and it can often be a male perspective, where if you pause, everything just kind of falls apart. So it's not really a option, or at least a perceived option in that sense. So I don't know what your take would be on that. Do you feel like it is more complex from a male perspective, going to seek help, or?
We men were used to the saying that we should be strong because we're men. So we tend to bottle lots of emotion. Yeah. And somehow this emotion will always find a way out. Will always find a way to express itself. So you don't want to get to that point. You don't want to get to that point. I'm glad we're talking freely. Yeah. About mental health, and that's the whole idea. To be able to talk about it, mental well-being.
I think that's part of, I think, a wider conversation. I feel like if things are relatable, they become less stigmatized. Yep. If I have a outie belly button and someone else has an outie belly button, and like, oh, you got one too, it becomes less of a thing. And I think the same way with like mental health in that situation. I think because there's things like talk therapy, right, which is literally just
talking therapy,
talking about your issues and problems and back and forth.
Yeah.
I think if people are more open, and I think if this was a year ago, I wasn't that. But I think in part of my validation in terms of I'm not going to go to counselling, was I'm going to start making certain changes. Like if I say something, or if I feel something, I will say it. And I'm not going to not say it under the basis of how it makes me look saying it. If it's something that is true and comes from within, it's pure in just that sense. So things like that. So I like, I'm at a point now where I gladly sit on camera, like, and put it out there. When people close to you die, you're gonna feel like killing yourself. And like, no one told me that before, but I found it to be true. Like I say, in that sense.
Yeah.
And then what you do with that afterwards is kind of the important next step. But I think if we can at least have that conversation, and it's funny because it almost felt like, especially in that context that you brought up, like grief, is even just by itself a neglected topic. I kind of maybe wish like someone told me like, yo, that's gonna like hurt. It's not gonna be painful. That's gonna be like.
I tell you what, when my mom died back home, I was in a situation where I couldn't help it. I couldn't travel back home.
Okay.
To go for the burial.
Where's home, by the way?
You could see Nigeria.
Okay.
You could see the difficult situation I was.
Yeah.
Because of certain things that I wouldn't want to say on camera now because it's sensitive. But it's got to do with immigration. And I found myself in between staying with my daughters or go home and destroy the framework of the application that we have already put in place. Because if I go home, that's going to get destroyed and there's nothing we could do about it. Or go home and take care of the burial of mom. Such a difficult situation. So the grief aspect was there. Mom died. Somebody very close to me died.
Of course.
And also I'm not going to be there for the burial.
Yeah.
I mean, you try and imagine how you feel.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe that I'll cry the way I cried, when I heard about it, and also having to make decisions whether to go home or stay. So it was really, really, really difficult, really affected my mental. Now, I won't say I went to see a counselor, but thank God for His Word, the Word of God that consoled me. I found solace, I found peace in God's Word, though it took time. That's another thing. It takes time. It's a process. So, but the moment all those things are in place and still you don't get it right. You're still feeling hopelessness. You're still feeling you want to kill yourself, and it's like I will always say, it's going way beyond, the time frame the normal time frame, which is 2 weeks. Then such a person should see a counselor. There's talking therapy there. There's also, the medication aspect of it, which is antidepressant. There's like, thank God we are talking about this. There's nothing wrong in the medication. I used to tell people that you don't find miracles only in church. Miracles are also in the hospitals, waiting there. The antidepressant is just going to work for you at that point in time. Then you get over it and continue with your life. For some, that could be the last, the last option for some, but the option is still there. While for some, they actually find solace and peace in God's Word, like I did for mine. So I wouldn't say mine was a clinical depression. So mine was just a normal depression, but I was able to contain it so quick. It wasn't easy. I cried and cried. My kid were like, "Daddy, what's going on?" Yeah. But yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry, kids. I'm sorry. But thank God I was able to overcome. Even though once in a while when I remember, it's like, Lord, why did you have to make it this way? I couldn't go to bury my mom, even though I was able to send resources and things, but it's not the same as you being there. I called my dad, this is what's happening, please just understand. Thank God my dad was able to understand, and things went well. Things went well. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's kind of like an encouragement for me. That was a positive side of it, that at least things went well.
Yeah.
Yeah.